Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Master in Action. I am so excited to be back with you today. I've been gone for a long time, but I'm back with a very special guest. As you know, this podcast is meant to present you with founders, tech founders that have gone through challenges and their journey, but as well that has successfully achieved their goal. So today I'm with Diane Kone.
Hi.
Diane is the founder of Suede, which is an app that is specially catering Afro and hair textured. So it's the Uber of Afro and hair textured service. So I'm so happy that she's with me today because we get to talk about the beauty of building an app, but also the challenges and the hardship of it as well. So Diane, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for answering yes.
Of course.
It's so good to have you. As I mentioned, we're going to discuss everything related to challenges, but as well as the beauty of taking that journey. So, first of all, could you explain who are you? Give me a bit more insight about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Diane Kone, or Diane Kone in French. I've been in Montreal for about 18 years now. I've had a couple of different careers. The last one working for a big development and innovation agency. And I'm full-time founder of Suede. I've been full-time founder of Suede for the past 6 months.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's a lot of work.
It is, I'm sure.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how have you come to the conclusion that you actually need to build this type of app?
Yes. So it happened during COVID, and when the time of everybody was in community, but everything was digital, and it was really hard to actually connect with people. And I was just walking with some friends. We all had like textured hair, and we were discussing, how to take care of our hair, how to find like the right providers, the right services, et cetera, et cetera. And really talking about the struggle,
Yeah.
and there were even more struggle during COVID because the only reference that we could have was salons, for example, and it was difficult, to book appointments. And I was in the tech world, and I just figured, well, why can we just use all of the tech that has been built, or why not bring the Afro hair and textured hair services into tech? Like it why hasn't it been done to this scale before, where it would really help people to find services, but also to create community around hair. Because if you live in Canada, for example, I think there's 1.3 million people of Afro descendants. We all have textured hair.
Yeah.
It creates community. We all have the same struggles, weirdly. So why not create a community, bring them a solution,
Okay.
for that?
Awesome. I mean, that's a valid point. There is so much to do with Afro hair, and so you mentioned that you were with your friend and you were discussing that you guys were all having the same struggle in terms of, was it in terms of finding hairstylists, finding where are the services that are catering specifically for Afro hair, or how did you guys how did it come about? I mean,
Yes. So I've personally had very bad experiences with hairstylists because, like I said, there were not a lot. When I arrived in Montreal, there were not a lot of hairstylists available. And I just went one time to this hairstylist, and I lost half of my hair.
Wow.
There was no reviews. There was no, there was nothing. Like I just went because that's the one that was available next to me, and then I lost my hair. And it really forced me, I would say, to learn more about my hair, learn more about like how to do my hair, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if I'm answering that correctly, but yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
it came from like it came from bad experiences, from struggles, and then there was a lack of trust that I felt going to random salons that did not have my peers, like not peers, but like other people's review and stuff like that. So I really wanted to create a safe space where we have a record of like the work that has been done previously. We have reviews. Everything is community based. So yeah,
that's true. I feel like it's a lot. I know someone that knows someone, you know, so you always get kind of the reference of someone that knows how to do hair. But so what in your opinion they were doing before Suede? So what was the process of them finding services before you actually came with this idea?
It was through DMs.
Through DMs, so IG.
Yes, so
Okay,
IG and
IG.
Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
So what's interesting with the Afro and textured hair community is that the knowledge is generational. It's not really learned in school.
That's true.
For some reason, at least in Canada, it's not. So anybody could have the talent and anybody could do your hair. So there's a lot of people, obviously, that do that as a side gig, and they have like professional IG pages, professional... or just like Facebook Marketplace posts. And you will have to go through that, send them a message. And then it's the back and forth with the DMs. Some of them are using booking platforms, but they're not, especially made for Afro and textured hair. It requires like a lot of work on the hairstylist side. So yeah, but I would say from the data that we've gathered, all of the surveys that we've done, it takes 3 different messaging steps in order to get an appointment confirmed.
Wow.
Yes, and then you have to pay for a deposit. So you send money in the ether, and you hope the appointment actually happens. Then there's no shows where maybe the hairstylist doesn't show or the client doesn't show and nobody's protected.
Have you had any of these?
Yes,
Oh
100%. I think we've all gone through that. And
I got a no-show. I don't think I got a no-show, but she was definitely like late. Actually, I stand in front of the door for about 20 minutes before she actually was just taking a shower.
Oh,
and I'm just
goodness.
like, the appointment started like...
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely had bad experiences.
And we're trying to resolve that.
Yeah.
We're really building, everything built in the platform is to make sure that the logistic of it all is very smooth. So you have to pay in advance. There's a deposit that happens, but then the funds are only released once you're satisfied with your appointment, for example.
Oh, I like that.
And then we protect both the hairstylist and the client by community guidelines, by the way that everything is shown on the platform. There is nobody works for Suede, so everybody's like an independent contractor. But there is safety put in place so that everything happens in a very serious. I don't know how to say that, serious manner, because a lot of it right now is a little bit unserious, to be honest. And also like everything there's a process, so we're removing all of the difficulties of like the communication, the lack of respect of people's time, all of the different things through the app.
So would you say that your app is more targeting freelancer hairstylists, those that actually offer the service at home, or that not really based in a hair salon? Because if you go to a hair salon, you kind of expect your hairdresser to be there. So, but there's so many other hairstylists in the space that are home hairdresser, either or just have like how do you call them, the suites?
Yes.
So yeah, so all these are really like your focus basically to make sure that these hairstylists are legit and do a proper service.
Yes, I would say the primary focus is definitely we call them self-taught talent.
Self-taught talent. Okay.
Just because they do not have the infrastructure usually to run, not to run a business because they're already doing it, but we're making it easier for them, and we're really showcasing their talent. And they have this professional page now that they can use to showcase everything, book. It's kind of a display of their talent, but also we're not trying to to do to compete against like the salons or the certified. We also want the certified and the salons because they can offer different types of services to the community. So let's say Self Thought will be able to offer the wig install, all of the braiding, locks maintenance, for example. But then a certified that registered on the platform can offer treatments, like silk press and all of the other, like haircuts, for example. So we really divided the services depending on the level of expertise, just to also make sure that everybody gets a good experience. But we're taking self-taught certified salons. Anybody who has the knowledge can get on this platform, because the goal is to make sure that the Afro and texture community finds services easily.
Yeah. Let's dive a bit more into this. So your clientele is not only clients that are looking for hairstylists, but also hairdressers. So hairdressers also, from what I'm understanding, have benefits of using your app as well, because there's this is trustworthy for them as well.
Yes.
So they avoid no shows as well. So all of that they're actually secure on that end as well.
Yes.
Awesome. So now, how are you helping your clients to come to your apps? Like, what is your process of like attracting people to? Because it's like, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been going to this hairdresser for a long time, or I've been struggling for a long time. So I kind of find my way around things. So how are you going to convince me that I need your app? That actually my app is the solution when I've had so many hardship in the past?
That's a great question, because we're kind of reinventing the entire process. The way that we've been doing that is developing really a platform that makes it easier. So another thing that we've also been doing is, you can still go to the same hairstylist, but instead of sending them 4 DMs trying to see, where, when, all of these things, if your hairstylist uses this platform, you will just book, in 3 steps. We're really making the process easier. Also, I would say, because we offer security, we offer safety, we offer the sense of community. That's something that you will not find on,
like if you're
social media.
Individually, looking for
exactly. And also, I think being able to see reviews. Maybe you've been going to the same hairstylist for 10 years, but let's say you want to change your hairstyle, you want a haircut, instead of having to go through the same process that you went through 10 years ago to find like the right one to cut your hair properly, etc., the app is going to offer you other people that are going to be able to take care of your hair very well. And as clients, I think one thing that is important is for us to know our own hair, but also to go with providers who understand our hair. And this is when you create a client profile, we ask you all of these different questions about your hair. You might not know everything, but like, what is your hair length? How many times do you go to the hairstylist? What are your preferred hairstyle? If you know your porosity, you can tell us. If you know your density, you can tell. Like, we have all of this different information that are then provided to the hairstylist. So they will know you. They will know your hair profile even before you get through the door.
I love that. And this is what I meant by what do you do in a different way to really build that trust and be like, okay, this is actually the service that I need. This is going to help me. Because that's true. Like, it's so often that you get to the hair salon and they're just like, oh, I didn't know you have that much hair.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, I kind of have to charge you extra because I'm going to be spending more time braiding your hair or whatever it is. So it's good to know, like, no, this, like, I have a lot of hair, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, that's definitely a good point. So let's go back to the building the actual app.
Yes.
I know we talk a bit about it. You had a lot of challenges And I have to say congrats, because this is amazing.
Thank you.
I get so many clients that comes to me and like, Christine, help me build this app. I have this amazing idea. But so little of them actually go through the process until the end, because it comes with such a heavy load of knowledge, of information, of resources. And this is not to discourage anyone that actually wants to build an app. This is just to be able to tell you that there's actually a structure to follow. And I think you've learned a lot in that process.
Yes.
Did you build your app in the traditional way, or did you utilize AI? What did you do exactly?
Okay, so
I'm sorry, just informing. By traditional, I mean going through a developer, dealing with a team, having like a structure around like resources, human resources.
Yes. So actually, I've had the Suede app for a long time. I had the idea in 2021 and then started building in 2022. So AI was there, but not to the level that it is now.
Yeah, sure.
And another thing is, me as a founder, I will never ask anybody to do something that I haven't at least tried myself. So I built the entire alpha version of the app by myself in 2022. And I used Webflow, so like a no-code type platform. And once I saw, like, I was also, like I said, I had experience in tech and like strategy and etc. So I built my customer journey myself. All of these things. And then I did my alpha. And then once I saw that it was possible, that's when I started looking for developers. So I went on Fiverr and got my first developer.
Sorry, I have to smile because I know already how this is going to.
So great guy. Very, very nice. Really enjoyed his work. I would say that I was not a product owner. I'm not a CTO. I have a very good understanding of what a tech platform would need, because that was my job before. But I was building the strategy, and then it would trickle down to the product owner, the Scrum Masters, the developers, et cetera, et cetera. So I was never in the trenches, in the code, doing all of these things. So we got overexcited, I think. So we built the first MVP iteration of the platform. And then it was great. Lots of functionalities, quite complicated. And there was nobody to rein me back in, to remind me that this was an MVP. I was just like, we can do that. Let's do it. Whatever. And at the time I was using Bubble, which was a little bit more advanced than Webflow for what I was trying to do. And then the day that I gathered all of my friends to have a full-on testing sessions with scenarios and everything, the app crashed. After 6 months of work.
Wow.
So then my developer went on vacation and I hired another developer. And
I'm so happy to speak to you today about the course that I'm launching. And this next month, you'll be able to access, as a founder, the essential of UX design. So we all have this perception as founders that we know everything. We know everything about our users. We know everything about the process, the strategy that we need to put our product on the market. But there's a lot of things that research actually will tell you, which is the reason why I'm launching this 4 weeks course, which is 1 live session per week, where you get to build up a community with other founders that have challenges, struggle, just like you did, about building their own digital product. So this course is specifically online. I'm thinking about actually having it in presential, but so far I wanted to put it online so as many people could have access to this 4 weeks program. So the goal of this program is really to give you the tools to be the best decision maker that you could be. It's one thing to delegate, but what do you actually know about your user? What research have you done to know who are you talking to? What is the audience that you actually want to promote your digital product to? And this is the reason why being in the room is not enough. You have to be involved in every decision as a founder. You have to be able to have a say on what developers decided to do with your product. So it's very important for you to have that knowledge. And this is exactly what I'll be giving you during that 4 weeks program. And as you know, I love to play with words, and I decided to call this the UX advantage. As a founder, UX gives you a great advantage. And by UX, I mean user research. How do you interact? How do your users interact with your product? All of these are research that should not be neglected, and they should be a part of your learning process. They should be involved early on. And I want you to be in the room and feel comfortable to speak with those other tech. And this is exactly what I'm trying to do with this program. So make sure you click on the link below. I'll list all the information. This program start whenever we have enough people that wants to be a part of it. We'll be able to start the program and ensure that you get the best knowledge out of it, and you really create and build that tight community during those 4 weeks. So stay tuned and back to the video.
The process started again from the beginning. I was like, oh no, wait. Before I hired another developer, since the app crashed, I did 2 things. I hired a UX person, and I hired a QA person, which I should have done from the beginning, but that's a different story.
I tell them all the time.
You know? And they came back to me with, I think it was 47 pages of errors that we would have to do. So then I scrapped it. I was like, I've lost money, but you know what? I'm learning, it's good. Then I hired other developers through Fiverr. Amazing team. They were so professional. Everything was done perfectly. The app was almost live at this point. Like it was really going well, but they were in Ukraine and the war happened. And they had to close their doors, and they only told me about it 2 weeks after. So for 2 weeks, I had no
clue.
No clue, no
information. In the
information.
meantime, you were preparing your launch.
Yes.
Okay, let's stop right there. So you mentioned multiple things. So why in your mind it made sense to go on Fiverr? Let's start first with that. Was it because you were told that this would be a perfect fit, or you didn't have like developers on your entourage that you could have reached out to? Why did you decide to go on Fiverr or to outsource, for example?
The irony is I worked with developers, so like I knew developers, but I was building in Bubble.
Oh, yes.
And it was almost impossible to get a Bubble person in Canada for the price
that knows Bubble, that knows how to deal with
exactly
the platform.
For the budget that I had at the time.
Okay, so it was mostly related to budget.
Yes, but I would also say Bubble is very popular overseas. Like it's there's a lot of people that can help you with Bubble overseas. Yeah. Before I even started on Fiverr, I had launched this kind of post where I was asking developer friends, hey, do you know Bubble? Do you know no code? Can you help? And the answers were no, not really, but we can start with the code. And I was like, I'm not ready to invest. I just want an MVP for now, just to confirm all of the traction, validation that I've gotten before we start build. Because once you start building an app with your own code, like it's a big thing. Yeah. You need a full team. You need and you have to, that's my thinking. I do think it's easier an MVP with no code because even I can go and make some changes. You can play with the UX, with the UI. You can test some functionalities.
The testing part.
Exactly. Yeah. Before investing, in bigger.
Money. It's definitely, this is always what I suggest. I always suggest to go with an MVP because once you start developing, then costs are starting to add up. You hiring a UX or UI will definitely involve some cost, but this is for you to have a clear idea and be able to have a valid prototype that you're going to be able to present to your clients, to your users. Yes. And you also mentioned as a founder that you thought your MVP was it. So you went with that idea. You're like, okay, there's no other change that needs to be done. So at what point did you realize that the MVP was not it? Like,
Well, the day it crashed the first time, and then the day my Ukrainian developers disappeared, and then they reappeared, and they told me, well, it's done. But then I had rehired QA people. Basically, in between every developers that I've worked with, there was QA people and UX people involved for audits and everything. And then they told me what they've built is great. It's very great. However, you're not going to be able to iterate the way that you want.
yeah.
So then back to the drawing board. And by that time, I had found somebody in Montreal who could help with Bubble. And it was not a great experience, unfortunately. There was a lot of like money grab type things. And I was not in a position where that was interesting for me. So back to the drawing board, back on Fiverr.
Yeah.
And I found a developer, very knowledgeable, and he was doing the documentation at the same time as we were building. Like it was going very well, full QA every single time. And we launched our desktop version.
So you did launch a desktop version first?
Yes, November 2024.
Oh, I thought you actually started with the app.
No.
Okay, so is this version still available? Or
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, both are living at the same time.
Oh my God, I have so many questions for that part.
Yes.
So is there a reason why you actually decided to go with desktop first, knowing that the goal is to have a Uber for hairstylist, Afro hairstylist services? So why did you think it was important for you to have a desktop?
First, because depending on the hairstylist and where they work, etc. Like, for example, because I've always wanted to have certified in salons, they use computers. Like they're in their, I have to think about their environment. But also the way that it works in Bubble is you create your backend and you can use the same backend for desktop and for web app and responsive and mobile app, right? The desktop was just the easier one to do, and we were making it responsive so that people could still have access to it on their mobile and do the same operations. But the goal was always to have an app, and I had some technological barriers, kinda, when it came to wrapping everything I had created in Bubble into a mobile app. Not great. So that's why then we just went for creating, the mobile app itself. Like kind of not dropping
with Bubble still?
Yes, with Bubble beta. Like it's a new Bubble program, so we are all learning at the same time.
So it seems like you had a lot of difficulties with that software with Bubble.
Yeah.
So why did you not decide to maybe go for a different platform that was utilized by more developers? Was it because you were so attached to your MVP, or and you didn't want to start again, or
it was because of costs?
It was really because of cost.
Yeah, everything that I'd already invested, there were already people on the platform. We were still getting traction, still getting interest, and I figured with everything that at this point I've invested more than I should have for an MVP because of all of the technological issues that I've had. But honestly, like it's working. It's not. There's still things to fix and everything, but it was working. From the launch November 2024. Before that, no, but like it was working. So my goal was always, okay, I'm gonna tough it out for 18 to 24 months. And during this time, as I grab more people, as we start really building the community, and as we start making a little bit of revenue, we will transition slowly toward our own platform with all of the learnings that we've had. I did not see the point of people have suggested to me going with Flutterflow, or I forgot the name, but I was like, well, I've invested already 2.5 years on this. I know the backend by heart. If there's a problem, sometimes I can fix it, and I cannot go back to like this is. There's a point where
you don't feel like you can go back.
Exactly,
There's
exactly.
so much things invested.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally understand that part. It feels like you have gone such a long way. You have learned so much about this specific tool, and this is also the danger of building. Sometimes is you get attached to the software more than to the actual product. Because the product could be duplicated on
Yes.
every platform.
Yes.
But it's just that it's the investment. And you're like, I don't want to start again. So yeah, I get that a lot. So my next question was more like looking back at this journey with your struggle, with with the developer, with the platform. What would you do differently?
Goodness gracious. So, funnily, right now, I'm looking for a fractional product owner. I would have gotten a fractional product owner year one.
Could you explain to the people what does that mean?
Yes. So, a product owner is in charge of the platform. They are in charge of the roadmap. So, they don't do like the development, but they manage the roadmap of the platform, and they make sure that everything goes well and that the platform conforms to whatever the stakeholders are wanting. A fractional product owner is usually somebody with a lot of experience. They have built their own platform, or they have their own startup, etc. But they want to dedicate some times to help other platforms grow, or provide like consultant, but with
Hands-on.
exactly, like more hands-on. But they only dedicate a few hours a week to the product. It's not their full-time job, and it's very much. I've done all of these things. I want to get back to kind of my roots and let me, get my hands dirty again in a project.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're a senior, you have all this experience. You kind of you slowly step back and you manage people to do the work.
Yes.
But if you really like because as a designer, for example, I'm seeing myself stepping back and delegating more to other designers. But I still enjoy what I do. I still enjoy designing. So I do sometimes want to have hands-on,
Yes.
So I know the feeling. And based on so it seems like as soon as you hire the UX and the QA, it seems like everything like went quite well.
Yes.
So what did they tell you? So what was their feedback about your users that you thought you knew, but you actually discover with them? Assumption that you had about your users that you actually like scratch with them.
I think the first thing that it told me every single time was that it was too complicated of a process to subscribe to the platform.
Okay. Onboarding.
The issue that I had was because we want to provide as much safety and security as possible, because the hairstylists are going to go to people's houses, or you're going to go to their houses to get your hair done and everything if they're not a salon. We need to have a lot of information, not a lot, but like personal information that is verifiable, just to make sure that we're not sending people to weird
a murderer or anything like that. Yeah, for sure.
So that process has been iterated, I think, 6 times, because, like I said, we send survey. We really go into we really look at like where people with heat maps and stuff. We really look at where people go, how their experience is with that process. But we also need a very strong, secure process. So I've had not fights. I've strong discussions with UX people, just being like, I need the address, and I need it at the beginning, or if I don't have their address, they cannot be booked.
Yes.
So where in the customer journey do you want me to put it where I get what I need?
Yeah, as a founder. Yeah. Let's say as a founder. So your business needs versus what is they assume was best for the user.
Yes.
Which was not to give their address away.
Yes.
To keep privacy.
Yes.
And you also mentioned the heat map. I just want to make sure, because my audience is not necessarily fully tech aware. The heat map gives you the ability to follow the journey of your users. So if, for example, you know where they click, you know how they navigate, so you kind of understand their behaviors through the website or the platform that they're using. So, and the heat map actually gives you either colors, gives you, okay, this is warm, so they spend times there. So it gives you a great understanding of how they navigate through to the digital product.
Yes.
So okay, so you went to this process. So what so based on the research that you did, what was the research that revealed the most information? Was this the surveys? Was the user interview? What was it that you believe once they presented those insights were like, my God, mind blowing for you?
I think it was user interviews for sure, because
Okay.
the way that I approach everything is very personable. So at the beginning, the first thing, like the hairstylists that we have on the platform now, or in the, we have also a backlog of hairstylists because not everybody's published at the same time. But that's a launch strategy. It's not because there's anything wrong with that. I would send direct message. I've messaged, I think to these dates, 780 hairstylists in Canada.
Love that. Wow.
Myself. Via Instagram.
That's amazing.
Yes, I haven't been blocked yet by Instagram, so I think we're good. Instagram and Facebook Marketplace, and it's really about talking to them about like suede, asking them if they're interested, if they have any questions, and then just asking them about their experience. So like, how do you do it? I see you use this booking platform. How do you find it? How do you usually go to your clients? Even though I can see, because usually they publish that, I like to ask the question.
Absolutely.
And it's all about their feedback. So I've heard, because we've had a couple of bugs, obviously. So hairstylists will reach out directly to me and just be like, I'm not able to upload my portfolio pictures today.
Yeah.
Like, why? And then I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe it's something that's wrong with your profile, but we keep the conversation going, and I'm getting feedback on the app, but I'm also getting feedback on their experience.
Absolutely.
And they're learning also about suede. So they can see that every single updates that they give me, we do something with it. It's not floating in the air. You tell me that there's a problem.
Journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not building that for myself. I'm not a hairstylist. I'm not a hairdresser. Like I'm just a girl with a dream. So it's very just talking to people, talking to hairstylists, but also talking to clients. I'm not a salesperson. I can sell my business, but I'm not a salesperson. I'm a client as well. So I will talk to my friends and just be like, hey, do you know, any hairstylists that you could recommend? What is your experience? We have community event where we touch upon like subjects that have to do with hair, like texturism, and it's through these normal conversations, not as business oriented, very, regular conversation.
Way back. Yeah.
that people tell me what I need.
Yeah, they feel open
Exactly.
to share a bit more.
Exactly.
And you mentioned that you are also a client. I am also a client, so we do have both hair textured. So, and this is something that I believe founders needs to be very aware of when it comes to building their own product. Is we assume that we are the user. So we built thinking, but I've gone through this journey already. I am the user, but I always tell them, no, you're biased in that situation.
100%.
Because you're building the product. So your assumption, your belief are yours. They're not the majority. And this is why user interviews or getting feedback comes so handy.
Yes.
Because you realize, oh, I thought like we all had the same issue. I thought we were all struggling with that. But you may be the only one that had experienced something like this.
Yeah.
So it's very important to step away and give your users the space to really give you their feedback.
Absolutely.
And I love that you saw the value and not taking yourself, although you did it at the MVP stage.
At the beginning. Yes.
You understood quickly that you need to give them space.
Absolutely.
And I love that. Oh my God, I'm enjoying this conversation so much.
Me too.
I love that you're sharing so much. And I keep telling everyone, users are so willing to give details, information. You just have to give them the right environment, the right opportunity to do so. And people want to build with you. They want to get involved in the process. So it's never, I'm going to give you the perfect solution. UX is never a one-time thing. It has to be worked on. There's a lot of iteration, as you mentioned. You had over 6 iteration on your onboarding process.
Yes.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
It's not. It sounds crazy because we were like, oh my god, we have to go back. But this is normal. Like there's a lot of things that you learn about your user throughout the process, and more feedback you get, better it is. See this as a growth. Every time you get a user telling you this is not working for me, this is like this is an amazing opportunity to do the right thing. Thank you so much for being with me today, Diana. Diane, I would love to know, where do you see Suede going from here? Like, what are your expectations for Suede?
Oh my God. They're very big. So like I said, I'm trying to create the Uber for Afro and textured hair services in Canada. We can start with Canada. So I want, everybody at least to know, be aware that there is a place where they will find the services that they need, that we're not forgotten. Yeah. The motto of Suede is no textures left behind.
Love that.
Because we've clearly been left behind. And like I said, we're still rolling on our MVP, but we're gonna get bigger. We're gonna have our own code, etc. And there's a lot more functionalities that we're going to integrate that we've already started working on, like matching, making the match almost like automated, so that we can send you hairstylists that would be perfect for your type of hair, your hair density, your hair length, like all of these different things. And then we're partnering with a lot of different brands. We want to partner with other technological companies that are doing amazing things in the textured hair realms. I think in the next year, the goal is definitely to make people even more aware of the platform, get even more feedback, and always build for the community, and that the community know that we built for them.
For them, always with the hair texture in mind. I love that. Thank you so much. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Where can my people found you? Like where they could see your work? They could definitely download the app, which is Suede.
Yes. You can just
SWAYED.
Yes. Suede on the Apple Store, Suede on the Google Play Store, and the web app version is www.thesuedeapp.com.
The Suede app. And I'll make sure to link everything below. You'll have the information of Diana. Are you comfortable sharing your personal profile as well? Or?
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect. So I'll make sure to list everything below. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in today. You've been with Master in Action. So we share everything about the process of building your own digital product and the challenges that come with it, the good and the bad of technology. So I'll list everything below. If you're not subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button. I'm going to be sharing way more information about and way more interviews with amazing founders that have done the thing. They've done it. So stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.